If you like to host dinner parties, or even if you just like to cook, or you like to play bartender when your buddies come over to watch the game or whatever, if you're that type of an individual, you relish the opportunity. Likewise, you might be a mother or a very nurturing type individual, and you're constantly fretting over and assisting and nurturing others. And you're always seeking that opportunity. And when you get that opportunity, it's like something inside you comes alive because it's practically what you live for, to take care of people. And there are many, many, many individuals who fall into this category. They're natural born caregivers. It's what they do best. It's what gives them the greatest amount of joy. And many of these individuals, if they know themselves and they're wise, choose careers or choose lives which align with that natural gift that they possess and that passion that burns in their heart to serve others. There's no shame in that whatsoever. By that we mean there is no shame in choosing a life of service. There are many, many individuals, for instance, who work as housekeepers or janitors or butlers or waitresses, waiters, and they enjoy what they do. And you will find that in some very fancy restaurants, they actually can get paid quite well in those positions because certain clientele expects a certain level of professionalism, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's certainly not true for all restaurants, and waitressing jobs and waiting tables is very often a very low-paying job, which is unfortunate considering it can be such gratifying work. It can also be very, very, very difficult because you're dealing with customers in one of the worst possible situations to deal with customers, and that's when you're serving them food, because you know what people can be like, especially when they get something that they don't like, and they're hungry, and something gets puts on their plate in front of them, and they freak out when it's not to their liking. So being a server in many situations is not easy. For example, being a nurse in a hospital, it can be very gratifying work, but it's backbreaking work. It's very, very difficult, exhausting work. And yeah, if people can be snotty and difficult in a restaurant, imagine how difficult they are in a hospital when they're in pain, when they're suffering, and when they want to be made comfortable. But somehow, individuals who are born to serve, they take the good with the bad, the suffering, the sacrifice that goes along with a life of service. We can give our service with a smile, but we cannot expect it to be received that way. And very often it isn't. And if you have seen, when you have been in hospitals, if you have seen how many people treat their caregivers, their nurses, their doctors, the orderlies, even the people that come to deliver their food, you will know that there they are in the hospital. They might even have life-threatening injuries or a life-threatening illness, and they are treating the people who are trying to help them, trying to cure them, or trying to at least ease their suffering. They have nothing but anger and frustration and vitriol and complaining, and all of their frustration and anger about their illness, and it's like they take it out on the people that are there to help them. And you know this is true. You know this happens. So this is all built into that path of suffering and sacrifice, that path of service. And it applies on all levels, not just on the path of the Bodhisattva. Even individuals who know nothing about that path and have no interest in that path, they just, want to live a normal life, and maybe they're of a particular faith, or maybe they're atheist. It doesn't matter. But they still live a life of service. They're a doctor, they're a nurse, they're perhaps a lawyer, or again, a janitor, a waitress, a waiter. or in some other service industry,